world's most boringest live stream. I'm your boring host, Eric. Just waiting for my script to be filled so I can go to town and get my drugs. And watch the caddy. I'm gonna take the trash out. I'm gonna do some dishes. Clean the kitchen. Perhaps even make progress on donating my car. Gotta get the Mini Cooper out of here. Hi, Winston's mom. Big thoughts ahead for a big thinker. Well, really a lot of practical business to be taken care of, you know. I guess number one on the list of things to do is to lock down a place on the East Coast so we can make progress on all the other things, you know. We spent a lot of time last night looking at places online. And from what I can tell, a good chance we're going to end up in Suffolk County, Long Island. Suffolk County, Long Island. And then obviously we've got a lot of tasks to do before we're actually ready to move. But I feel good that I've got a super clear plan in place. You know, that makes a huge difference. Now that I finally have a plan, I'm ready to act on it, you know. I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety and distress, just general distress over the absence of a clear plan. So in that regard, this whole thing is absolutely fantastic. It's taken a huge weight off my shoulders, you know, to have a clear plan of action. On the other hand, there's a lot of stuff in the mix here now. All of a sudden we go from holding pattern to action pattern. From holding pattern to action pattern. You should go in the fridge, I think. It's good to leave butter out so you have some soft butter, you know. Having some soft butter is a real advantage in life. Moving will make you anxious even if you really want to move somewhere. Yeah, I feel a little bit of anxiety about it, but not nearly so much as I did last time we moved. this time I have a lot more clarity about the process of moving. So like I know what we're gonna take and what we're not gonna take, and I understand the overall purpose of this move in a way that I did not before understand what we were doing or anything. I don't blame myself at all for making the move here. I think it was a fine decision. It's just, it was a decision made in the absence of a plan. And I don't blame myself for that because I was just totally unprepared for this when it happened. Not that maybe I should have been prepared, but in that regard, maybe I should blame myself. Is this dirty or clean? This is clean. Okay, well, that's cool. The dishes are clean, so first order of business will be emptying the dishwasher. Oh yeah, we've talked to Delilah. Yeah, well, she has other reasons to visit New York as well. Her best friend, like her boyfriend, live-in boyfriend, is from Virginia, which isn't super close to New York, but is out that way. And her best friend's boyfriend is from New York. She's got a lot more reasons to go to New York than she does to go to Mariposa. All right. Well, we got a little bit of a start. Let's see what else we got going on here. I've been looking into what's the best way to donate a broken down car. And AI suggests Habitat for Humanity is a reputable place to donate your car to. So I plan on calling them at some point today. I think that'll be good to get that off my plate. I might even do that before I get Adderall. But of course, the number one thing I'm doing right now is waiting for Adderall. I can't get it until the doctor sends my script in. And he's not in any hurry to send it in because it doesn't actually come due till the 10th. But of course, my pharmacy is closed on the weekends, so I have to get it today. But, officially I have enough left for today and tomorrow, so he's not in any hurry to send it in. Well, listen, dickwad. I already don't like the fact that I have this doctor between me and the drugs that I want. You making it needlessly more difficult for me to get them when I feel like getting them is pissing me off. Just enough already, right? Just send my drugs in. Let me go get them. That's it. Doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. You know what I'm saying? I think you do. And then once I get my drugs, we're going to do a couple of things for this move process, possibly including calling a place or two. We've got quite a few things favorited. The plan today is to, when Rachel gets up, to go through them and eliminate some of them, and then to check see if there's anything new put up in our price range / desired proportionalities and stuff. Amenities. Like, ideally, I think it's kind of important that we try to get a place that has a washer and dryer in it. Failing that, community laundry would be acceptable too, but I don't think it's a good idea to have a situation where Rachel has to go to the laundromat. So that's a thing to consider. There's a lot of stuff to consider, you know. Generally speaking, I want to live in a for a suburban area, I'd like to live in a fairly quiet place. I don't want to live like right next door to a factory or something, right? But obviously, there's compromises with every place you can consider living. And we're going to need to lock this shit down sight unseen, you know? We're not going to fly out there. It's just not worth it. It complicates things too much. And we're just more well served to do it like this. The goal is to have a move-in date of June 1st, and then probably time the actual move with the next bottle of Adderall. Seemed like a sensible enough way to go about things. Because I am going to have to drive a big U-Haul across country. Alright, so in a little bit, we'll go back in. We'll continue cleaning the kitchen some. We'll check my email to see if there's a message from Dr. Ingram indicating that, in fact, yes, he has sent in my prescription, which I'm sure is not going to come until like late in the afternoon. Because he's being all controlling for no good reason. Do you plan to take some of your furniture with you? Yeah, we're going to take some furniture with us, but not very much. We're basically going to leave the house furnished. There are a couple of things I'd like to take, you know, that I think are good pieces of furniture, but not very much. We're certainly not going to take the big chairs or anything. I like our bed. I'm assuming the place we're going to get is unfurnished, so we're bringing our bed. AKA bread. And well, like, There's a couple of chairs I want to bring. Like my little guitar playing chair. I want to bring that. These butts aren't any good. I'm going to get a better butt. I have plenty of full cigarettes too, but I'm excited about the whole thing, frankly. I'm not super looking forward to the drive across country. That's going to be a rough few days. But, you know, if it's on a new bottle of Adderall and I can, you know, really push and hump it, then get there quick enough. It'll be interesting. I've not lived on the East Coast before, no. But Rachel's from there. She's from Long Island, and we're moving back there to be close to her family, especially her dad, who's, you know, getting older and is ecstatic at the idea of us living within easy driving distance of him. So that right there is all the reason I need. I'm not really sure what exactly we were thinking moving out to be isolated from everybody we know. But like I said, I don't regret the decision because I was such a mess at the time. I didn't know what to decide. I had no idea. Is this stream about borscht or boring? It's boring. That's what it is. I don't smoke indoors anyway. I only smoke weed inside. And we'll see the extent to which that's a problem or not. The thing about smoking weed inside is that it doesn't have the same effect at all on a place that smoking cigarettes does. It's wildly different. Regardless, we'll figure it out. If I have to go outside to smoke weed, so be it. You know, not a big deal. So basically, it looks like from all of our searching that there are two possible areas where we might move to. One of them being Suffolk County, Long Island, the other being Bridgeport, Connecticut. I kind of like the idea of living in Connecticut just because I've never even been to Connecticut. I like its name too, Connecticut. Nobody says that middle C for some reason when they're pronouncing it, but I like to pronounce it that way. Will you become a Jets fan? I kind of already am a Jets fan. Will I teach again on the West Coast? Yeah, that's my plan. I want to work in my actual field again. I'm excited about coaching debate. Coaching debate is a lot of fun. It's hard work, sort of, too, but it's a lot of fun. And I'm extremely good at it. It's like something about being around young people kind of keeps the zest in things. Yep, we're moving. We're moving to the East Coast. We just made the decision recently, and we're locking into high gear, trying to make it happen quickly now that the decision is made. It feels incredibly right, you know, on like every level. So I'm super pleased with the fact that we have a plan. We're going to implement that plan and move on to a new phase of life, a new adventure. I was talking to Rachel in the car yesterday, saying that every time you move, it's like a new life. And that this will be my 8th life. Rachel counted, this will be her 7th life. I think about forgetting the very first move in my life. I do remember moving into the place in Arcadia, but I don't really remember anything. I have a teeny bit of memory from the one place we lived before that. But basically, Arcadia is my first real memories of the life, right? So that's one. That's one life. Then I went to college. That's 2. Then I came back and moved to Eagle Rock with Corey. That's 3. Then I went to Temple City with my first wife, had Delilah. That's 4. Then I moved to Laverne. That's 5. Then back to Arcadia. That's 6. Then here to Mariposa. That's 7. Now East Coast. That'll be life number 8. Which is pretty good numbers for a single lifetime. To be able to squeeze 8 different lives into one lifetime, that's pretty good. And I am expecting at some point there will be a 9th, probably. But who knows? And it's interesting to me, moving feels much more like a new life than, say, getting married and divorced and then married again. That all happened while I was in Temple City, and it all kind of feels like one life to me accordingly. If you're saying to yourself right now, Eric, why do I want to watch a live stream where you're just putting away dishes? Well, that's why it's titled The World's Most Boringest Live Stream. The nice thing is, as we're moving away from here, we haven't broken any of the big stuff. Like the dishwasher, the trash compactor, the refrigerator, the washer, the dryer. It's all still working just fine. I mean, we had to repair a couple of those things. Like we had to repair the heater. And I personally repaired myself the dryer. I didn't even hire anybody to do it. I looked it up online, ordered the part, and just did it myself. Pretty impressive, huh? I was impressed with myself. Okay. Put these in here. All right. One more spoon. Oh, two more spoons. Trying to sneak away. It's still good. All right, we put away all of the dishes. I'll go read the chat now before we reload the dishwasher with new dishes. Who knows, maybe I'll even take a cigarette break. That would be kind of crazy, but it's possible. How are your cognitive functions engaged in your decision to move? That's a good question, Bang. I appreciate you asking it. Do I prefer crack, cocaine, or heroin? If I have to choose between the two, I'll take the first. Why did you make a YouTube channel and why? I'm reading the comments. Okay, so let me first answer the question about cognitive functions. I think the number one way in which my cognitive functions were engaged in this move is that I've been dragging my feet for a long time. And I've been interpreting that as a failure to act when I knew what to do. But in reality, I think it was a failure to act in the absence of knowing what to do, which is to say, it was an NI-FI problem. I didn't have clarity about what I wanted, but more importantly, I didn't have clarity about well, that's a good idea, Winston's mom. It's something I'll take under advisement. However, I really want to minimize the impact on the cats as much as possible. Having to move and then move again. I mean, it's conceivable though. We'd have to find one of those short-term apartments that allows cats. But that's not a terrible idea. That's not a terrible idea. Hello, show media. Slightly lower tax burden in Connecticut. California always ranks in the top five. Connecticut was around 10 to 12. Well, that's something to consider. Now, on to the question of why did I start this YouTube channel? Well, because I wanted social engagement. I wanted to talk about things. Originally, I started it as just like a place for me to upload my really slow and not viewer friendly at all musings about things that were intended kind of conceptually as notes for a book I was thinking about writing. In the end, I ended up making a video about cognitive functions, and it did quite well for me, compared to my other videos. And that was exciting to me, so I started making more content about that. Eventually, I learned a lot about it, and I came to believe that it was an important set of ideas, I came to think that what I was talking about mattered because it actually explained things in a way that other stuff didn't. ultimately, though, I think it's as much a social thing as anything else. I am an extrovert. As an ENTP, it's it's natural for me to want social engagement, to want to talk about ideas a lot with various people, and the community here has been. I mean, it's become absolutely central to my life in every way, right? Like, it's how I met my wife, for example. It's what I do when I'm doing chores. It's what I do when I'm wanting to talk about something interesting. It's what I do when I'm watching baseball. It's integrated so deeply into my life at this point that I cannot imagine life without it. It's like things don't really become concretized until I talk about them online. Once I announce something online, then it's real. So one thing I plan to do here today is one thing I'm going to get off my list, my checklist. I'm going to donate the Mini Cooper so that somebody will come tow it away and it'll be off of my hands and off of my plate. I got to get rid of that car obviously before if we can sell the house. I'm not going to be able to sell the house with a old dead car here. You don't want to talk about everything, Eric. There are some things I don't want to talk about, but most things I do. Why are we getting rid of the Mini Cooper? It's broken down. We already sunk a shit ton of money into trying to get it fixed, and it didn't work, and it was just a big money pit. Now I think it needs a rebuilt engine, and I'm not going to get any money for it in that state, really. So I'm just going to have it removed from my problem. Well, obviously, I don't want to entertain stuff that's fundamentally hateful, you know. So yeah, I'm not open to every topic of conversation. If you're trying to say Michelle Obama is a man, then that's just being hateful unnecessarily. It's not an actual possibility. Maybe hateful too strong a word. It's something that's born of a mean streak of partisan anger, you know. And I don't entertain that kind of stuff. I'm sure the Obamas are no saints. I'm not trying to claim they are, but yeah, we're either going to either Bridgeport, Connecticut, or Suffolk County, Long Island. One of those two. Both of which are about an hour from her dad's place, which is in Lynbrook. But Lynbrook is a pricey neighborhood. We're not going to be able to move there. So we found some cool neighborhoods that are more affordable within an hour or so. We've got a number of places favorited on Redfin, so we're going to go through and I agree with you, Putty Cat. You know, attack people if you want on their merits, not on something dumb like that. All right. Well, there's decent pizza in Long Island. Not all streams are boring, okay? Not all streams I do are boring. I'm just warning everybody in advance that this one is going to be boring. I found a place in Bayside. Yeah, okay, sure. But we do have a lot of kind of specific requirements. So, like, if if something's gonna be an apartment or whatever, then it needs to be on the ground floor so the cats can get out, or meow meow meow. I just did. I had to change my login so that I could mod you. I can only mod you when I'm logged in as TWFP, not as Eric Strauss. Let's see. It's possible. It doesn't say whether it has what kind of access it has to like it doesn't say anything about whether it has community laundry, laundry hookups, actual laundry in place. That's kind of a big deal because we're fine with. Rachel was like, "Well, I could go to the laundry." I was like, "We're fine with community laundry, but I'm not sure we want to have to go to the laundromat." Well, I'll keep it open in the tab. We can run it by Rachel when she gets up. Thanks for the referral. Not sure where Bayside is. Hi, J.A. Mariel. How's it going? We're moving to the East Coast. Moving. Meow, 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 meow. All right, well, back to the boring part of things. It's time to put the dishes in the dishwasher. And we're okay with not having a dishwasher that doesn't have it. But we found a couple places that have both dishwasher and washer dryer that are within our amended price range of $2,800. put all this silverware in the dishwasher. Rinse it off a bit. Alright. Put the knives up here. Even though you're not supposed to put these knives in the dishwasher, it says, but I can't think of any good reason why not to. A whole bunch of spoons. We use a lot of spoons. Based on usage, we should have a lot more spoons than other things. We almost never use table knives. I could just put these tongs right back in the drawer. We used to get some lettuce. Alright. Let's put these things in now. We'll put these things in. Well, like there. 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 And there. That's good. Now we've got some bowls. Bowls can go on the top. We also use a lot of bowls. For us, you could say the bowls are the spoons of the dish world. Rachel likes to be served in bowls. Exclusively in bowls. She's not a fan of plates. And who can blame her? Plates with their ridiculous flatness. Things can push right off the edge. No problem with a plate. Ah, but with a bowl? Well, now you're talking about a different kind of monster. Alright, so we got a few spoons here that missed their kind of departure gate. So we'll stick them in the silverware part. Okay. Got a cup here. Got the magic spatula. And then I believe we are about ready to hit the launch button on the dishwasher. All right, there. Oh, I missed this thing. That's fine. It's not even really dirty. This lid can just go back down here now. Oh, I forgot this. That's fine. I can just clean this with my hands. I actually used this cup yesterday for iced tea, so it doesn't need a whole lot of cleaning. We get this cutting board cleaned off. Put that right there. Get some paper towels. Scoop up all this crap. Bring the trash can over. All right, there. Let's take a break. We have a couple other things to clean still. A couple pans. Use a touch of cleaning. What's the most TE savvy way to clean a kitchen? I mean, you know, technically it's top down, right? You start at the top, wash everything up top, and push it down to the ground, and then the last thing you do is clean the floors. But I'm not planning on doing that full of a kitchen clean, so I just want to get it, you know, ready for use. The last thing I made in the kitchen was was Mexican food, like burritos / soft tacos, and that's very much a mess making meal because you have a lot of different containers holding different things. Yes, we are moving to the East Coast. That's right. You live in New Jersey, New York? Well, we can meet up when we move there then. That'd be nice. Oh yeah, you know, I'm determined on that point myself that it's fine. It's fine to have like a shared laundry for a building or something. That would be fine, but having to go to the laundromat, no. I think that's a deal breaker. Whether Rachel, even though that's Rachel's job and she says it's not a deal breaker necessarily, I think it probably is. Mise en place. Yeah, it'll be cool. I feel like we'll actually know a few people from the channel who are in the general New York area. We'll have a chance to meet up with them and get coffee or what have you, you know. Yeah, so we're definitely looking for some kind of on-site laundry. and check my email, even though it's a exercise in wishful thinking. I already know he's not even going to send it till like late in the day. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where I don't think either Rachel or I are constitutionally well suited to live out in the woods in isolation from everybody we know, and from opportunities at meeting up with people and stuff like that. I don't think it's our nature. It sounded appealing to me at the time we made this decision, but um, I'm too young to retire. Never really was planning on retiring. Just didn't have a plan. I just didn't have a plan of what I was going to do after we moved here. I just had some vague ideas. So it's going to be, oh, I don't think she'd go out at night to do laundry. I'm going to be aiming to get a full-time job, which, see, Rachel's got a little bowl of gummy bears here. Missed a couple of dishes. That's okay. Wait a minute. This bowl just has chips in it. Okay, well, things are looking pretty clean. One thing I could, in theory, do today if I wanted to, I could bake a loaf of bread, but let's first go and bake ourselves a cigarette. Connecticut is famous for their coal-fired oven pizza. New Haven, Connecticut is officially recognized as pizza capital of the United States. Isn't it supposed to be that New York has the best pizza? That's what everybody says. One place I've never been that I am looking forward to visiting when we move out there is Boston. Never been to Boston. Never been to Massachusetts at all. But, those states over there, they're pretty close to each other. Like Connecticut, New York, Massachusetts, they're not very far away from each other. In California, if you want to go to a different state, if you're just about anywhere in California, you're going to have a long drive. A long drive indeed. But this whole thing is timing out kind of nicely also in that Monday I get my final dental product in place, installed. And that'll be like a huge relief. I've been having to modify my diet so much for such a long time now because of this weak temporary denture. So Winston's mom says the hype about New York pizza is overstated, but New York bagels, on the other hand, they deserve to be singled out. Good to know. What is that? A big ass spider. Check this guy out. That's a scary guy, huh? I wish I could show you how big he is. It's hard to get a good, way to get perspective to show you how big it is. But it's big. So one of the things that we can do today that will be of some use, some value, is we could take a couple of the trash cans up to the street. Oh, sure, I know. The garbage man does not come until Monday. Why am I taking the trash out on Friday? Well, I have a little bit of a problem called forgetting to take the trash out. 2 Mondays ago, 2 weeks ago, as of this coming Monday, I forgot to take the trash out. Miraculously, we have still, nevertheless, not filled up all 4. Yeah, we want to stay within an hour. I mean, we're looking at things that are about hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes away from Lynbrook, New York. Because that's where we can afford, that's where it's a little bit more affordable around that distance. Lynbrook itself is quite expensive. But Bridgeport, Connecticut seems to have a lot of places that fit our needs and budget, and so does Suffolk County, New York. I have a feeling we may end up in Suffolk County. It seems to have a few better options than Bridgeport. It'd be cool if we were on Long Island also. There would be no bridges or tolls between us and her dad. Which is not something I would have considered as significant at all, but Rachel mentioned it a few times, so maybe it's more significant than I thought. Yeah, Rachel's dad is doing fine. And he's also getting older, we have no particular reason for alarm or concern, but he has already had in his life bypass surgery. So, I guess heart problems are potentially a concern, but everything's fine. It just, I don't know why it took so long for us to figure this out. But once we realized that the obvious place to move was near her dad so that she can be near her family and I can be part of her family during, over the course of the next decade or so, maybe more, hopefully more. It's a nice symmetrical way for me to write some of my own failings with my own parents, which continue to haunt me. But yeah, I think the same way as J. Mariel. I think that he could live for longer than we do, for all we know. But I want to have the opportunity to make sure that whenever that eventual date is, Rachel isn't consumed with the same regrets that I am, you know. And I want the chance to do a good job as a son-in-law as well. We're not possibly moving there. We're definitely moving there to the East Coast. We're moving either to Long Island, Connecticut, or New Jersey. New Jersey seems less likely because all the places in New Jersey are like in tall buildings. My dad was 82. So was my mom. So was my grandma. Oh, you mean possibly New York? Yeah, possibly New York. Yeah, I'm doing better with that these days, Winston Small. I'm not as self-loathing as I used to be. 82. Yep. Yeah, well, good heart's great, but Iselin, New Jersey, huh? I'll check it out. We'll check it out. There's this, let me type this in. Iselin, New Jersey to Lynbrook, New York. Oh, it's only an hour and 5 minutes away. Well, that's very possible. Punk rock girl, you look so fine. I'll make you mine and travel around the world. We want, ideally, 2 beds, 1 bath. We need to add the filter for cats allowed. Well, it looks like Iselin, New Jersey is fairly pricey because there's only 2 places within our price range. and with our specs. Hmm. It does allow cats two max, which is how many we have. It has a dishwasher. It has community laundry. Well, this place would be fine potentially, depending on what floor it's on, what the building looks like on the outside too. I'll favorite it, show it to Rachel later. That's a possibility, you know, if it meets our cat requirements. Because, see, we also need someplace. Iceland? Am I mispronouncing it? Keep your eye out for Rahway and Linden and Union as well. That's fine, Winston's mom. If if I uh, if I can't grow weed there, that's fine. I'm already anticipating that growing weed is going to be probably not in the cards. In which case, I'll just buy weed from one of the nearby states that does sell weed. You know, yeah, I won't have to go that far to get weed. You thought about becoming a train conductor? All jokes aside, that is a career path that offers great benefits and pay. I don't, I'm not really concerned about the legality of it. I'll still be able to get it regardless. I'm not expected to get arrested for weed. I have already been arrested for weed before. I'm not worried about that. A train conductor? Well, according to J.A. Mariel, every other store in New Jersey is a dispensary. So that should be fairly straightforward. I'm a little bit frustrated with my doctor. He could have sent this in this morning or yesterday when I sent him the request, and instead, what does he decide to do? Play little games with me. Oh well, that's fine. We can play little games. Hi, Mr. Kitty. I see you. I get it. You're a wonderful man. It reminds me of the Simpsons episode where Marge says, I'm a lucky lady. And Homer says, and I'm a wonderful man. That's a great quote. Are you going to eat or what? Or you just want to be bossy? Tell me what to do for no reason. Oh, yeah. I'm getting some serious fur off you now. I haven't combed you in a while. You need a good hearty combing. That's for sure. Look at all that hair. That's a real harvest. That's a harvest to write home about. I know you don't like it, but too bad. All of this is hair I would otherwise have to sweep up or vacuum up or what have you. Look at that. Quite the harvest indeed. That horrible cat. It's the worst cat in history. Yeah, I have to start watching all the Kevin Smith movies when I only like one Kevin Smith movie, really. And that's Dogma. I think Dogma is a good movie. Maybe South Plainfield or Plainfield? Well, I hope both of those places are nothing but a plain field. Otherwise, it's false advertising. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out there and applying for jobs that I'm well qualified for. Feeling confident when I send stuff out that they'll hit me back, you know. Irish Boy is live? Well, that's good to know, Shannon. That's good to know. Would you like to link to it? I have Taurus 4th, sitting with the Chiron. Is that how you pronounce that word, Chiron? Well, I could collab with him, but, you know, if you want to link to his live stream, you're welcome to. I'll make you a moderator so that you could if you want. Well, cool. J.A. Mariel. I have no problem with collaborating with him if he's got something in particular in mind. But today, what I'm doing is I'm collaborating with chores to maximally empower my waiting ability. Collaborating with live streaming chores so that I can wait for drugs. Does that make sense? It should. It's probably the most sensible thing I've ever said. All right. Right. We do have a couple more dishes to do. I think I'm going to do those dishes before I go have another cigarette. What are those dishes? Well, one of them, I said, can we not? Now you're going to stop working? Are you serial? Of course that light fixture breaks. Like right now, we're getting the house ready to sell. Of course. How fun. Yeah, well, you know, we can meet up, plan some sort of workflow for something. Get a schedule That's what I, at least in life, needed a schedule. I don't do well without scheduled responsibilities. Like today, I've scheduled some good responsibilities. I need to get speed and mushrooms and take them both. Those are responsibilities that I don't take lightly, okay? I'm not going to treat those things as though they didn't matter. I'm a little more with it than that, okay? In theory, I could eat the mushrooms tomorrow. Of course, if I don't get any speed to it, then it's kind of a moot point, isn't it? Well, whatever. As usual, I'd already kind of mentally prepared myself for the possibility that I wasn't going to get it today, because you never know, they're all so fussy about giving me speed. So can you guys just not, please? Can you not be like that? Well, the answer is no. They cannot not be like that. They have to be like that for some reason. You're like, because it's a controlled substance. Control my ass, you fucks. I think you all know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about practice. Alright? We're not talking about the game. I'm talking about practice. Are you serious? Can you just work, please? Fuck me. I need to get more of this though. This is the pan that never cleans. I just rub and scrub it clean. But it's all stained with darkness and it will not go away. I wish that it would, because I am sorry now to say this is the pan that never cleans. Ergo is always in a state of, well, clean enough, I guess. Because, if a pan never cleans, you still gotta at some point put it away. Well, look at me. Look at me go. I have gotten so much accomplished. Cleaned the whole kitchen, started the dishwasher. I haven't cleaned the whole kitchen. I haven't done the floors or anything. I could do that. No, my Adderall's $1 a pill though, so it's not that expensive. It's $60 for a month. It's fine. All of our pills are very affordable. That's something that may change when we move. We'll have to see what we can do about that. But those kind of specific practicalities we can deal with as they arise. Welcome to the world's most boringest live stream. We've gotten a few good boring things done today. We put the dishes in, we emptied the dishwasher, put the dirty dishes in the dishwasher, started the dishwasher. What other boring things have we done today? We've cleaned a couple of pans, wiped down a couple of counters. We've discussed the rental markets in various places within driving distance of Lynbrook, New York. He said no, he was being a bitch about it, but yesterday he did a collab with another guy who was from the States. I don't want to do it right now anyway. That's what I was saying is, yeah, I'm fine with collaborating with him at some point if he has some idea in mind, but I don't feel like doing it right now. All right, we're steaming forward till noon. If he hasn't messaged me by like 3 o'clock or so, then I will send him another message saying, okay, I'm heading into town to pick up my drugs now, so please send it in. I don't know what else to do. Besides that, well, that big spider is gone. Maybe he was pushed out of the way by this caterpillar. Maybe that caterpillar sent him running. You think spiders are afraid of caterpillars? They might be. Maybe caterpillars are the natural enemies of spiders. With all their spikes on them, you know, a spider can't bite it without getting spiked. Spiked like the hair of a Mohawk punk rocker. Spiked like the hair of a Mohawk haircut. His name is Irish Boy 44, if you're wondering. Today he was being rude towards me. I've known him for a long time. He's being weird today. I'm familiar with him. He comes around here fairly often. Oh, that's fine. I'm moody too. My mood changes, and I understand that not every day is our best day, and certainly am a lot more understanding of that and other people than I am of myself. The hantavirus, even the strain that is possible to get from human contact, is not supposed to be easily gotten from humans. So logically, based on current knowledge, it should be hype. Hantavirus, huh? All right. Well, what other boring chores can I do? I could contact Habitat for Humanity and have them start the process of getting my car. Pretty sure spiders eat caterpillars. Well, Shannon can put a link if she wants. Maybe Shannon pissed him off and he stopped live streaming. Alright, let's take a gander here. Yeah, finally, when we move to the East Coast, this channel will graduate to color. Alright. I'll look it up. I don't understand why you don't just put a link though, Shannon. Did I get it wrong again? There we go. Oh yeah. The channel name is Sean.
And it's like 8:50, and you're like, that is just crazy. Like, you could.
His name's Sean. His name's Sean. He has the same number of. Oh, you and I both found it. This is one. Okay, how are you still shedding so much fur on me? God, that cat's so horrible. We're good. We got it, Shannon. Thank you. Yeah, well. He's not in a good mood today. Well, that's fine. Everybody's entitled to be in a bad mood sometimes. Yeah, Rachel and I also got hit fairly hard by it. One of the times we got it. My dad got hit really bad by it. Well, you know what I think it's time for? I think we can all agree with this. I think it's time for a rousing interpretive dance. So get ready to rock, get ready to roll, because it's time, and we're going to have a wonderful time doing this. Giddy up! Yes, the time in niche will come. We'll drink margaritas as we eat some fun. Meet my new amigas, Maria and Juan. Piñatas, sombreros, white pesos each to ride the burro. Giddy up! Tequila and churros. Yes, the time in each will come. Yes, the time in each will come. You're welcome, everybody, for that brief but so satisfying trip to the old land of Mexico. Oh yeah, vitamins. I've been trying to take vitamins on the regular. I think that they help a lot. I do. I take Women's Complete. No, I don't take Women's Complete. I do take a complete vitamin. I believe it's Men's Complete. But you know what? I'm going to have a confession to make. I sometimes give Rachel the men's vitamin. I don't see any sign of her growing a penis, so it should be okay. Let's take a gander what we got here. Actually, this isn't for men or women. This is just multi-gender vitamin. This one, though, also appears to be... Oh, I see. This is the equivalent to Centrum Silver Men 50 Plus vitamin. Is it okay to give this vitamin to Rachel, even though she's not a man and she's not 50 plus? I don't know, but that's a chance I'm willing to take sometimes. I'm going to take one of these. I'm also going to take one of these. I don't even know if that's B12's in there. I don't know what's in there. Oh, these are B6 though. Take a B6. I guess these are B12s. I'm not really sure what they're doing. Sometimes I put different pills in the wrong bottle. I like to keep things confusing for myself. It's a little trick I like to play on myself periodically. Like there's this gabapentin bottle over here that's full of Tylenol for some reason. It fools me occasionally. That's good stuff. Vitamins. Hi, Cameron. I've got some news that's possibly going to be a little disappointing to you, but I know we don't see each other that often anyway. But Rachel and I are moving to the East Coast. That's what's going on here in the short-term future. And we're doing it for a variety of reasons. Yeah, big stuff. We're going to go move to be near Rachel's family and also to a greater metropolis area where I can get work as a debate coach. So, big stuff afoot indeed. We're currently looking for places. We're going to rent someplace over there, and once we find the right place and get approved for it, they say, okay, yeah, we want you to move in, and then we'll send them the money. And then at some point, I'm going to get a big U-Haul. Packet full of everything we're going to take and head out to the East Coast, and then we'll hopefully have this thing on the market by no later than July 1st. That's my hope. You know what I'm full of? Hopes and dreams. You know what I'm not full of? Drugs. Needless to say, I'm fine enough with the first part of that, not so fine with the second part. Should I come up and we do a few touch-ups and repairs? If you're down, I mean, I don't want to impose on you, but yeah, I mean, I'm planning. One thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint this wall gray. I'm also gonna take out my horribly ratchet pond so that I can. And what my plan is to basically break up the concrete with a sledgehammer, throw some of the concrete down the hill, or put it behind the shed maybe or something, and then put some of the concrete back into the holes, and then cover it up with dirt. I mean, my current plan with the Mini Cooper is to donate it to Habitat for Humanity so they can come drive it away and it won't be a problem for me anymore. If there's some better plan for it than that, I'm all ears. I don't think it's going to sell for anything, but I could be wrong. Yeah, good thing I didn't use rebar. You make a good point there, Cameron. Never occurred to me to use rebar. Now I'm wondering if I should have used rebar. But yeah, if you are going to come up and do that, then it'll have to be pretty quick because we are planning on doing it, making this process go as quick as possible. I'm due to get a new bottle of Adderall today, and I was thinking maybe of even getting started on the wall today. Of course, that was based on me maybe getting it at like 9 in the morning. Now it looks like I'm not gonna get it till like 4 in the afternoon probably. So I probably will take it today anyway. 'Cause I'm a big drug addict. A lot of stuff up in the mix going on. I've been meaning to call you just to chat, Cameron. I don't know why I always put it off. Right now I do, understandably, because we just made the decision a few days ago. And obviously everything's been in kind of a whirl since then. I don't know what's going on down on Snyder Creek, but they've got some sort of big construction noises going on down there. And I don't know if you heard, Cameron, but the other night, in the middle of the night, the neighbors across the street, not that this has anything at all to do with this movie, but they were like fighting, they were like drunk and fighting or whatever. And then 3 gunshots went off. I was like, WTF? They were loud as fuck, too. But apparently nobody got killed or anything, so. Cool, yeah. Yeah, dude, you gotta do it, Cameron. Let's chat soon. I talked to Dave Porter the other day. He called me. That was nice. It's always nice touching base. Part of the problem with being FI polar is even though I really appreciate it when we do talk and stuff, it's often not the sort of thing that is forefront in my mind, I guess. It's a lovely day. I don't know what the temperature is, but I don't even need this jacket at all. But it's also not too hot. Yeah. Yeah, they're still alive. Rachel actually called the cops. She was like, "Should we call the cops?" I'm like, "No." And then she secretly called the cops. But I don't blame her. She was worried or whatever. I was right about how it was going to play out. The thing is, I could tell nobody had gotten hurt because after the gunshots, they were still talking. It was just a lot quieter now. So, I, I don't know what that was intended to accomplish, except maybe to get them to quiet down. They got themselves to quiet down by firing off a gun 3 times. Yeah, but she hadn't heard the argument herself. She just heard me tell her about it. Because I was outside, I heard it because I was smoking cigarettes. She heard the gunshots. She was like, "What the fuck was that?" they were loud. I mean, I don't know what caliber gun that was, but it was no 22. I can assure you of that. It was no 9mm. Sounded like a fucking cannon. Anyway, I know that with neighbors, it might very well be out of the frying pan into the fire, but I'm not going to miss those across the street neighbors at all. They're loud, they're trashy. Good riddance. Hopefully, they're not loud and trashy when the house is being shown. Yeah, right. They do have kids over there. I've never once ever heard them be anything but gentle and decent with the kids. But ironically, they seem to parent perfectly well. They're just not very nice to each other. It's weird. Kitty face, I already gave you so many pets this morning. We had a huge love session. Now you're back for more. What's up with that? I think you're being a little bit love greedy. Well, it's noon. I've completed the main chores I had to do. Right, well, I was thinking about whether we want to try to sell the little wilderness car separately, like start trying to sell that now, see if we get any offers on that, or if we should include it with the house. I'm not quite sure how we should deal with that. Probably it would be worthwhile if we could sell it separately first. Oh, you horrible cat. You've got so much fur. And it's getting all over the place all the time. Yeah, that's not a terrible idea, Winston's mom. We could get prescribed some kitty Xanax. They're gonna travel via plane, so we're not. It would be impossibly difficult to try to take them across by car. So I'm gonna drive over there in the U-Haul. Well, the plan is as follows. I'm gonna drive down to LA where we're gonna sell the Chevy Cruze at CarMax. It's still in Delilah's name, so I'll just drive down to LA to do that. Then in LA, I'll rent a cross-country U-Haul, one of the big size ones. Maybe not the biggest size, but a bigger size one. Then I'll drive that back up here, load the U-Haul, drive across country, move us in, then buy a new car with the money from the Chevy Cruze. It's about the same amount of money. And then pick up Rachel from the airport with the cats. And then, so the cats will have had a difficult travel day for sure, but it won't be traveling all the way across country in a car. And obviously, it's going to be somewhat traumatic for them to get used to a new place, but that's just how it is. Oh, yeah? Okay, well, that's possible. Hi, Ruben R. I guess I'll have to look into what CarMax will pay for it. I mean, the thing is, I'm sure Delilah's cousin, that situation's gonna want some kind of a family discount. I want to be able to get as much out of that car as I can and direct that towards a different car. It's not because I don't want that car. It's just that it just doesn't make good TE sense to drive it all the way across country, because it would entail an additional flight plus an additional cross country trip expenses, and I just don't think the car is worth enough to justify that, you know? So accordingly, I'm inclined to do it the way I just described. Just seems to make the most sense. Plus, with that car having 130,000 miles on it, even if it made it across country fine, who knows how much life it has left in it after that, you know? If I sell the little wilderness car separately from the house, I'm able to find a buyer for that, then that would give us some cash on hand that could facilitate getting another car. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find a buyer for that or not, or how much I'm going to be able to get for it even. But it might be worth a try. Come on, get off of there. Okay. Boys are stupider, girls are from Jupiter. Did you guys know that? Were you aware of that? Let's see what Cameron has to say. I think the CarMax is offering about $2,000. Oh, so they're not offering very much. But I'll have to put more money into a car then anyway. I wonder how much I could get for the little car. If I could get a decent amount for the little car, if I could get like say $8,000 for it or something, then 2020 Kawasaki Mule Ranch edition. Oh, they're trying to get 17 grand for this thing. That's in Indiana, though. Well, I could put it up for sale, I guess. Here's another one that they're selling for. It doesn't say how much. Yeah, this says low retail value is 10 grand. I mean, if I were to offer it for 10 grand, maybe I could get some action on it. I'm surprised it hasn't depreciated at all. It's in excellent shape, you know. It doesn't have very many hours on it. That's how they do mileage on those little cars. They don't do miles, they do hours of driving it. Well, yeah, I mean, if I could sell that little car, then maybe we could give it to Izzy for $1,000, you know. Then I'd have extra cash on hand for getting a car. Is that what CarMax offered after you made it all nice and everything? Or is that what CarMax offered before you made it look all nice? You know what song I got stuck in my head? I got 10 minutes down, but it down, but it down, but it down, and down, down. Found out that down, and it down, but it down, but it down, but it down, and down. Is there is there got too much time on my hands. Meow, 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 meow. All right, cool. Well, that's useful information. Thank you for that, Cameron. That's informative. So that's something I should look into today. I just wish I could just get my drugs and just be done with this waiting period. But no, I have to wait because my psychiatrist correctly thinks I'm a big drug addict. You know what? Fuck you and your correctness about that. It doesn't matter. How horrible. What could be worse than waiting for your man? It's the worst thing in the world. And I don't even know. I don't even know if I'm going to get it today. I might not be able to get it till Monday. You know what I'd say about waiting? Get out of here. Get out of here, waiting. I don't like you. Waiting. Waiting's for subjects I am the sovereign. I wait for no one. I am with angels, waiting for subjects. I am the sovereign. I wait for no one. I walk with angels. Oh, Corey, such a genius. Such a genius. I'd work on selling the Mini Cooper first. I mean, I'm not imagining selling the Mini Cooper because it, from what I can tell, needs a rebuild engine at this point. So I don't think I'm going to get any money out of the Mini Cooper. It doesn't run, and it doesn't run because it has a very serious problem. So I doubt I'm going to get any money out of that. I just need to get that off of my plate, probably by donating it. Now, if Cameron wants to tell me that I'm wrong about the Mini, I could sell it as is for something other than $0. I'm all ears, but people generally don't buy cars that need massive amount of work, are not running, and maybe somebody would buy it to part it out. It has some value in that apparently, but that someone is not me, so yeah. Thank you, Cameron. That's what I thought. By donating it to Habitat for Humanity, supposedly they'll come tow it away as long as it's in one piece and has 4 inflated tires. Well, the Mini Cooper meets those qualifications. It is in one piece and it has 4 inflated tires. So that seems like the next thing to do today is I will maybe go get Rachel's phone and call them while I'm live streaming. I could in theory probably fill out some form online, but I'll just call them. Because it's like Styx says, I've got too much time on my hands. Meow, 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 meow. I've got too much time on my hands. It's a good song. It's a really good song. Styx is quite, they have a number of really good songs. I'm impressed with Styx. I was a huge fan of the Mr. Roboto album when I was a kid. When it came out, I was a big fan of that album. My favorite song on that album was the one that goes, well, I see the kids of a new generation, and they won't stand for this mind control. They're gonna change the world we live in. They're gonna bring back the rock and roll. Well, they take a chance on believing. Win or lose, I know it's right, 'cause it's high time for us to start a revolution. High time, just like an A-bomb explosion. High time, it's not the music that's in question. High time, it's more the freedom of expression. Change is coming. Mind police are coming. They're on the move. The old world is crumbling. Meow, 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 meow. We're on the moon, we're gonna start a rockin' nation. Anybody else know that song? The skinny boy is a street fighting man. Ooh, yeah. I really like that song as a kid. I haven't listened to it in God knows how long, but I still remember the words and everything. It's a very similar song in some ways to that song on Broadway. Casa Mariposa also accepts car donations? Oh, really? Oh, Habitat for Humanity does have a Mariposa County number. Well, shit, I'll just call that then. Because I don't want what happened one time before. One time before, I went with a not so reputable charity, I guess. And then later on, I got something in the mail that still had me being the owner of the car and it getting into an accident or something like that. So I don't want that to happen again. All right, let me go get Rachel's phone. We're gonna make this call and get this thing off of my plate. All right. I tell you what, before we do anything else, I'm gonna go pee. And while I'm going pee, you can enjoy this very fine view here. Hello. That's my Typology. Okay, I'm gonna go get Rachel's phone now and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm here. I'm queer. I don't want any more bears. I'm ready to make a phone call. Let's do it. A Prius isn't sporty enough for you, says Mom. But it's a Prius. You know, often spoken in the same sentences as things like Lamborghini, Porsche, Prius, you know, sporty cars. Is this as loud as this goes? Guess so.
Hi, thank you for calling Mariposa Habitat for Humanity. Someone will return your call. Please state clearly your name, telephone number, and purpose of your call. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Eric Strauss, Strauss, and my phone number is 626-615-8751. I'm here in Mariposa County. I'd like to donate a car that's not running but does have 4 inflated tires and is in one piece. If you could call me back, I'd appreciate it. Thanks. Bye. Well, oh, the Prius isn't your vehicle. I see. Well, if you want something sporty, maybe you could get a Chevy Cruze. No, the Chevy Cruze is not very sporty. Not very sporty at all. Right. If they want to call back, they'll call back. If I get impatient, I could call someplace else. Pointlessly check my email again. Nope. No message from the doctor. Alright, what other chores could I do? God damn it. Why? Why you want to be like this? Let me plug in Rachel's phone. Well, fug. I don't even know what to do. I have no idea. I've got potentially 3 or 4 hours left, maybe even more, till I can conceivably get my drugs. I've done the chores I was going to do. I could make some food, I guess. I could bake a loaf of bread. That sounds like a fairly worthwhile activity. Alright, let's bake a loaf of bread. I cannot believe this light fixture just broke. What the fuck? Alright. There we go. Put that there like that. Get some nice warm water that's not too hot. That's going to be a little too hot. Wash my hands first. Alright, my hands are washed. Get out one of these little cups here. Well, we might as well get out 2 right now. If we're going to need 2 of them. Okay. We've got our butter, we've got our yeast, we've got our 2 little bowls. We're going to get half a cup of water. And we're going to get 1/4 and an 1/8 of a cup of water. Try to get the temperature just right. Seems about right. There's our 1/4 cup of water. And then we'll get half of a 1/4 cup of water. I never knew I needed that light so badly. Alright, this is half a 1/4 cup of water. Now we'll put in our teaspoon worth of this yeast. But wait a second though. I'm taking this mixer with us, by the way. I'm sorry. I'm taking a mixer. That's just all there is to it. Alright, just put this in. And then I'm going to get a little bit of sugar. Because Winston's mom informed me that the yeast like that. So I just get a little dusting of sugar on my fingers like that. Put it in there. Then I will stir it up. with one of these sticks. It's good to use a stick to stir it because yeast is super sticky. It'll stick to anything that you stir it with. So you want it to be, it's like it's impossible to get it to come unstuck. Fuck you, yeast. Fuck you. Alright, now that yeast is blooming, we will get a half a cup of water. This one can be a little hotter because it's just designed to melt the butter. About as hot as it gets. Now with this butter, we'll just cut off a teaspoon. They have little lines on here to show you how much is a teaspoon. And for a change, the lines line up pretty well on this one. That should be about right. Okay, put this butter back. Clean this off. And wash this knife off now. Wash the butter off of it. And wipe it down with this paper towel. And we're good to go. Alright. We can put the yeast away, as this yeast here is blooming. It's a blooming onion, as you can see. Put the yeast away, we'll get some flour out. Flour being one of the major ingredients in bread. Alright, let's take a gander. Here's our flour. We're going to put 2 cups of this flour into here. 1 cup. 2 cups. You know, I've got a show I want to recommend to anyone and everybody within the sound of my voice. It's called Resident Alien. It is the most hilarious show I've seen in a long time. It makes me laugh out loud multiple times during every episode. It's absolutely hilarious. It's the writing in it is just genius. I could not recommend it any higher. Half a teaspoon of salt. So we'll put in half a teaspoon of salt. There you go. And we'll just wait for this yeast to bloom a little bit more, and then we'll be good to go. Now, they say that 3 minutes in the mixer is about right for 10 minutes of hand kneading time. So we're going to time that this time. We're going to time it at 3 minutes. See how that works out. Does yeast go bad? It does go bad, but it takes a long time for it to go bad. Well, I have noticed that we spend a lot less on gasoline with the Chevy Cruze than we did on the Mini Cooper. How do you know if 2 elephants were having safe sex in your backyard? Your fence is knocked down and one of your hefty trash bags is missing. That joke would be better if you put safe sex in it. More obvious what the joke is. Yeah, I spent 6 something. Well, it's not that much of a process, really. We're going to take with us what we want to take, and we're going to leave the other things behind. Maybe we'll have a yard sale for some things. But it's not so much a matter of choosing what not to take as choosing what to take. We could leave shit up in the attic or whatever. Alright, so my expert bread baking eye is telling me this yeast is about well proofed. You can tell it's all frothy like that, right? It seems to be loving life. So let's go ahead and put it in. And I'll remind everybody of my general rule. Get Fleischmann's yeast. Don't bother with the store brand. It's shitty. Pour this one into here so I can get more of the yeast out. I still don't quite get it all out, as you can see, but that's yeast for you. Yeast and bong resin and non-dairy creamer are the 3 stickiest things in the world. Now we'll get this part. This is the part that stirs it around. Now we'll bring it up like that. We'll turn it on low. Set the timer for 3 minutes. And just let it do its thing for 3 minutes. It's a little dry. You know, looks can be deceiving. There we go. You locked into place. Thank you. Alright, well we got 2 minutes left on that. Let's clean this little lid, which I can put on top of that bowl for the first rise. Put these back up here. It's ready to go in a second. I've got about 1 minute left. Just one lonely minute. Yeah, I know all about that, Winston's mom. Having the possibility of doing things and just not getting up and going and doing them. But you know what I went up and got up and did today? Making a loaf of bread. So, that's pretty good. Okay. So, let's make this into a ball as much as we can. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, we have this as a ball. Put it here. Put this lid on it. And we'll let it rise for about 1 hour. Not 2 hours. 1 hour and 5 minutes. All right. I'm just going to turn the oven on for a second to get that area over there heated up. Right. Well, we're hoping to move in June 1st, you know. That's our plan. You know, we're not going to be spending any time in a hotel. That's why we're going to move out of here before we put this place on the market, you know. No, we're not putting any raisins in the bread. Raisins and bread do not go together. People who put raisins in their bread, we're not using a moving company, Buddy Cat. I'm just going to rent long haul U-Haul, one of the big trucks, put everything we're going to take in there and drive it across country. And we're not just looking at apartments, although we are looking at plenty of those. We are also looking at a couple of places that have it's a 2-story house and you get either the bottom or the top story, things like that. Well, I'll rent it as soon as I have a timetable for when. You know, the first thing to do before we can determine the timetable of anything else is to get a place. So we'll just have to wait on those other things until we get a place. Oh yeah, I'll buy the insurance. No, the cats are gonna fly with Rachel. So I'm gonna drive the U-Haul across the country. Rachel's gonna stay here with the cats. I'm gonna move us in. I'm gonna return the U-Haul, or I'm gonna buy a different car. I'm gonna, sell the Chevy Cruze here, and then once I get over there, buy a different car. Hopefully for an affordable price. And no, I'll stay in motels. I'm not gonna sleep in the U-Haul. But I'm hopeful that I'll be able to spend no more than 2 nights before I get to where I'm going. And I think that's very feasible, especially if we time it out like I want to, which is the plan is to make that trip shortly after the next bottle of Adderall on the 10th or whatever of June. And then the goal is to have this place on the market by July 1st. Yeah, well, I'm not worried about getting pulled over for driving stoned. I am worried about getting pulled over for smoking weed while I'm driving. That's how you end up getting busted. It's not like anybody can tell I'm stoned, quote unquote, because I don't really get stoned like that. A lot of things seem really serendipitous, like the fact that for whatever reason, I didn't really put much energy into planting weed this year. I only have 3 little teeny seedlings going outside that are struggling a bit, and so there's nothing to feel like, oh, I'm not going to get this harvest, Nothing like that going on. Yeah, we really don't have anything to tie us here at all. The closest thing we have to things to tie us here to Mariposa are our next door neighbors, with whom we're friendly, and I'd say we're pretty good friends with them, but not so much that we spend a lot of time with them. And then Brennan, who's a cool kid, and more importantly, perhaps a Mushroom Connect. But you know what? I believe I'll be able to find a Mushroom Connect on the East Coast. I believe. I believe in America, and so I believe that I will be able to find a Mushroom Connect on the East Coast. Yeah, I'm not really too worried about the legality thing because, like, under what circumstances are the cops going to come into my house and find whether or not I have my weed locked up? Under no. What are you talking about? In the vehicle? Oh, yeah. I'm obviously going to have to navigate my cross-country trip with an awareness of possible legal consequences and whatnot. But yeah, vehicle's the risk. I'll certainly be careful going across country. I'm not super worried about things because I'm a respectable old man and I don't drive particularly fast. Yeah, I've already been arrested for weed one time in Oklahoma. So I won't be nearly so cavalier about the whole thing this time. I do get that different states have different perspectives on the thing. Not everywhere is California. Regardless, that's the least of my concerns. I'd have to be pretty dumb to get busted for weed driving across country. I'm not dumb like that these days. I used to be, but not like that these days. Well, it's almost 1 p.m. I'll check my email shortly. And then I will be disappointed again. And then maybe I'll whine some more about it. And then I'll wait another hour. No, I never saw the inside of a cell, Putty Cat. I was handcuffed. I was put in the back of the cop car. I was taken to the police station. I pled no contest and paid a fine and then let me go. Yeah, they just want your money. Oh, you can pay the fine today? Well, sure you could go then. I didn't know you could pay the fine today. Yeah, I could pay the fine today. Oh, well then, sure, you can go. That was exactly how it went down. Ridiculousness. But I deserved it. No, I have not gotten it yet. Dr. Ingram has still not called it in. Even though I tried to prevent this problem by saying to him expressly, my pharmacy is closed on the weekend, so I'll need to get it tomorrow, which is true. I've done the count multiple times. Tomorrow is supposed to be my last pill. This is the last 2 pills tomorrow. Well, that means I need new drugs for Sunday, right? Oh, sure, it is the case that my last 2 pills were long ago. I'm not going to deny that. But that's really not the point, is it? Hi, Gil. Discord is down for you, so you'll chat here instead. Well, thank you. We love being your second choice. It's true, it doesn't bother me at all. So I think one thing we're going to add to the list of things to do is to try to sell the little wilderness car. Try to sell that like now. Figure out the best way to sell that and price it to sell, you know? Which means, 10 grand OBO, I guess. 10 grand is what they would say is the lowest retail price for the model of little car that we have. I'm surprised it's retained its value so much. Advent of Code Day 9 Part 2 is a doozy. What is this, some how to learn how to code class or something? I guess it would just be a learn to code class, not a how to learn how to code class. It's not teaching you how to learn, it's teaching you how to code. So, how to learn. So that would be convenient, really, if we could sell that little car. If we could get close to 10 grand for it, I'd be happy with that. It's a yearly challenge. They do it every December. You can go back and do past problems. Fun. By which I mean, how horrible. Coding exercises. Ugh. Get out of here, coding exercises. Okay. So the question is really just a matter of how long do I wait before I send another message to Dr. Ingram saying, okay, I'm heading to the pharmacy now. Please send the prescription in. And then if I do have to send this message, I'll add, Rachel and I are moving to the East Coast. My last 2 pills are tomorrow. I've got a lot of stuff to do. And the pharmacy's closed on the weekend. I can say all that. And then hopefully that will prompt him to send my prescription in. Because I'm sorry, but I don't like this. I'm waiting for my man. $26 in my hand. He's never early. He's always late. First thing you learn is that you always got to wait. Boo. Well, at least I'm not waiting for heroin like Lou Reed was. I don't do that stuff. That stuff's not a good one to do. It's like, I don't even want to take it at like 5 o'clock. God damn it. This fucking guy. Him and his ways. Well, at least I know what I'm doing as far as managing my messaging with him. I'm smart. I don't give him too much information, but I can follow up with more information if need be and position it so he would find the failure to fulfill my request indefensible. God damn it. Making me jump through these hoops. Where is my coffee? I don't even have it with me. I keep reaching for it. It keeps not being there. That's all right. That's okay. Puberty love. Yeah, I think what I'll do is ask AI what the best way to do it is. And I could certainly do Facebook Marketplace. I could do, I don't know. I'll have to look into it. I could look into it now, I guess. Or I could continue complaining. That's rising up nicely. I guess I'll give him till 2:30, at which point I will message him again to reiterate the fact that I need him to send in my fucking prescription today. You're a silly boy with very silly ways. Yes. You're a very silly boy with very silly ways. Daddy knows. And Daddy loves. Ay, he's shedding so much. He's such a horrible cat. Alright, well, let's look into this selling the little wilderness car thing.
Okay.
I think it's 2020. Let's look into it. We can see what this place gives as a cash offer for it. I don't know if they're gonna come way out here or not, but says they arrange shipping at no cost to you. Well, that'd be something we can try. I just gotta go figure out what the van is. Oh, I got AI mode though. Well, they actually recommend, says best for convenience, best for speed, best for top dollar. Online specialty marketplace. Tractor house. Motorcycles on auto trailer, ATV trader. Huh. Well, looks like there are some possibilities here. And that's kind of encouraging. So, I just need to find the VIN on the thing. Or find the little books that come with it that has that information. I guess I could look for those things. I guess I could look for those things before I check my email. Or I could check my email now. I don't even want to get it anymore today. It's like, what's even the point? It's so late in the day. God damn it. Doctors. What is the point? What is the point of doctors? Just to cause you problems. That's all. Just to cause you unnecessary. That's their only point. All right, let me see if I can find the little card documents. think they might be in here. All this fucking mail. I've never gone through. Oh my god. I saw it not a super long time ago, but I don't remember where I saw it. It doesn't appear to be in here. No, it doesn't appear to be in here. Wait. No, it's not it. Let me look down here more. That's the Vizio stuff. The TV. All right. There we go. No, it's not in here. Unless this is it right here. Well, that's just paper. That's not it. Alright, it's not in here. We can eliminate in here from the list of possibilities. I've checked everywhere in here that it could possibly be. It is not in here. Alright, that's fine. We've eliminated one possible place that it could have been, but is not. Wait a second. Wait a second. I believe I found it. I believe I found it. I think this is it. This is it.
This is not found a number.
Let me see what. I guess this is the van. Oh, there it is. I see the van right there. Okay. Let's just pop this into this website here. Let me go look and see what the number of hours on it is, because it's going to ask me that, I'm sure. $1,142 hours. 1,142 hours. That's a little bit more hours than I expected. I think it means we put about 400 hours on it. Seems difficult to believe. Seems impossible to believe, really. But what did I say? 1100 and how many hours? Fucking goddamn it, Eric. Well, let's get started on this process. All right, enter the VIN. Mileage. Mileage, huh? Well, let's go back and see what it says for hours go. Hopefully it will accept that unit of measurement since it doesn't have mileage. Oh, no, that's the time. 95.5 hours? Is that the amount of mileage it has? $95.5 hours. That's what it says. The other thing is the time. No offense, but I've never watched a more boring stream. Well, that's what I promised in the title. So, 95.5 hours? It must have more mileage than that. I thought it had more than that when we bought it. Well, I don't know. I'm going to prove what it says. It doesn't only put hours. Color. Silver. Silver gray? Gray, I guess. Yes. No. Yes. Excellent. Photo. Alright, I gotta go take some photos. At this point, I guess I should end the stream to facilitate doing this. Alright, so I'm gonna end the live stream and then maybe I'll be streaming again later. We'll see what happens. We got chat tasks to do associated with moving, so we'll do some of those now. Thanks for being here. Love you. See you next time.